gonna take our place like the kings and the queens of the human race. The clock is ticking, there's no time to waste. Gotta hustle, flex a muscle, leaving dirt in their face. Feels like we're taking the crown. It feels like we were born to be champions. We were born to be champions. We were born to be. We were born to have a name in the lights, 'cause we're taking a ride to the top, to the top. Born to be champions. We were born to be. It feels like our time is now. It feels like It feels like we're taking the crown. It feels like we were born to be champions. We were born to be. We were born to be champions. We were born to be. We were born to have a name in the lights, 'cause we're taking a ride to the top, to the top. Born to be champions. We were born to be champions.
Good evening. What's up, GT?
What's up, Aaron?
Doing good. Everybody have a good day so far?
Oh yeah.
Getting some dials in. Nelson, how's the SEAL team going?
SEAL team is going phenomenally.
All right, bro. All right. Hey, you ready to do this tonight?
I think so.
You got everything lined up? Are we gonna help make them some money tonight?
If they want it, it's on the table for them to take it.
Yo, one thing I was taught long time ago. I keep dating myself when I tell you how long I've been doing this, but I was taught knowledge was not power. You could have all the knowledge in the world, all of it. But if you do not implement that knowledge, it means nothing. Action is power. If you've ever gotten an email from me, and I've had the same email tag for 14 years, trust only motion. If you ever got an email from me, it says trust only motion. A lot of times we have a lot of agents that pop in here and they soak up this knowledge, but they're afraid to move. Don't be afraid to move. We're going to lay it down tonight and give y'all an exact formula on how to implement into your current sales so you guys can start making more money and adding more value to your clients. If y'all just understand that value, the more value you add, the more income you make. If you're a valuable individual, and this goes with all areas of employment, how much value do you bring to the employment? The more value you bring, the more income you make. So it's the same thing, the same concept when it comes to individual sales in your business. The more value you bring to your business, the more income you make. Y'all get that? So this is when we tell people not to sell on price, but to sell on value. When value exceeds price, people will buy. And we've proven that time and time again. You know, it's we know that when agents come into this business, sometimes they show price based on their current wallet. You know, maybe you came in here broke, you know, but listen, don't be ashamed. Like I was dead beat broke when I got into this industry. Like I just was, and I couldn't rub two nickels together. Josh Harris will tell you the same thing, man. My man was broke. Nelson, I don't think Nelson was that broke. Nelson's always been a hustler, in my opinion. Nelson could always find two dimes and rub them together and make two more. Like I know this about that man. But For me, I came into this thing broke and I started to add value into this business. And the more value you can add, guys, I'm telling you, that's going to directly impact your income. Okay. So we started at, and I want to say in 2018 or 2019, we started implementing Mutual of Omaha Accidental and Forrester's Accidental, ADB, bodily injury policies within every single sale that we created. And it's just an add-on. And we've got a lot of training out there to show you guys how to do it. If you don't know what that means, I want you to go there first. We're going to record this. This is recorded tonight, and it's going to be up because this is going to be our way forward from here on out. But if you don't understand that concept at all, and Nelson's going to go over it regardless, but I still want you to understand the personal concept of when we implemented accidental into our life sales, no matter what, especially when you guys are doing MPP, where we add the big policy in there for the face amounts, but we also separate the accidental from the standard mortgage protection to have two different policies. Now, with that same thought process, the more policies you write in an individual home will make those policies stick like glue. Right? So if we're impacting, this is why we ask for referrals in homes as well. If we're impacting someone with 1, 2, 3, 4 policies, and then we take care of the spouse, and then we take care of the children, and then we ask for referrals, the more you've impacted and added value, again, more value, more income. People will buy when value exceeds price. So me and Nelson have been really talking about this, and understanding what we have with CVS and what we have with Mutual of Omaha with cancer, standalone, cancer, heart attack, stroke, hospital indemnity. You guys, those of you who have your health license, those of you on here who do not have your health license, step one, put in some extra work. Maybe after hours, maybe after 9 o'clock when you can't call clients, right? But Aaron, I got to go watch Yellowstone. Come on now. We're talking about your business. I want you to put maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes a night into getting your health license. And I'm telling you, sacrifice the time so you can make an additional 30 to 50 grand a year. Are y'all cool with that? Just do it. Just knock it out. It'd be like, oh man, I got to do that all over again. Please just do it. Please just do it. You're going to have so much benefit by having your health license, not only through the individual supplemental plans like cancer, heart attack, stroke, hospital, but also dental, vision, hearing, and you're going to be able to tap into the Mutual of Omaha ADB and Forrester's ADB. All of these policies you've missed out on from whatever date you started till today. I don't want you to miss out anymore. I don't want you to miss out anymore. So I want you to just buckle down after hours. Give me 30 to 45 minutes every night and knock it out. Go past if you don't pass the first time, that's okay. I know agents where it took them 3 or 4 times, to pass their test. That's okay. Just keep going and keep taking it because it's going to be a massive added value to your business. Okay. So get with your upline on that. We've got course codes to save you money. It's like still $29 for a licensed coach. If your state doesn't have licensed coach, we use Excel. And I believe depending on the state, around $49 for Excel, things like that. So get with your growing upline. We'll get you the codes and y'all get into your health license as fast as possible and just buckle down and knock it out. That being said, we want to start packaging ADB CI. So we got together and understand how to create more value with each individual client. And some people, I know they're going to say it. No, they're going to be like, but why? But why? We've got the living benefits attached to the policy already. Why do we need to stand alone? Cancer, heart attack, stroke. We got the living benefits and they're free to the client. You know what? That's a great point. And I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But what happens when a client turns on the living benefits and uses them is it directly affects the face amount, the life insurance face amount of the policy. So did they even know that, number one, 50% of all foreclosures aren't due to death or due to disability? When you guys talk about this, and Nelson's going to line you up here shortly, when you guys talk about this with your clients, Yes, we have those added benefits, and there's so much value because they're free, built within our mortgage protection policy if they can get term or UL, right? But when it comes to the time that they have to use them, and those benefits are a direct reflection of age of client, how long they've had it, and severity of illness. So again, it's not going to be if they've got 100,000, they got 100,000 of living benefits. That's not how it works. But if you've got a supplemental cancer, heart attack, stroke, or hospital indemnity, that's going to give them additional value if something were like that to happen, where they can get an additional 25,000, 50,000, depending on investment, depending on how much they put into the policy. They can go all the way up to, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe over $100,000, but it is expensive. So I don't want you to start there because this is supplemental only. Nelson's going to explain that, but they won't have to tap into their living benefits if they don't have to. They're going to be there as backup, absolutely as backup always, because that's what they're built for. But if they don't want to tap into their life insurance, right, they're going to have these supplemental benefits added into the ADB CI. So I want y'all to listen to Nelson. He's worked extremely hard on this. Me and him have had many conversations over the last week, just mowing this over, understanding it, what it means, what it could do, how to add value, and how you can present it. So he has adjusted his virtual presentation to be able to add this in, just like we've added it in with ADB all this time. He's adjusted his virtual presentation so you can show it and get people to understand it and why they need it. So Nelson, I am going to turn the host code over to you so you can share your screen. It is yours.
Wow. Boss, it's been years, and every time you open up a meeting, anytime you get up on stage, I'm just in awe and I'm taking notes. I'm like, how does he masterfully get people excited for what they're about to see? You are the best. You know, I am one of the luckiest guys on the team because I'm direct to Aaron Guetterman. So I want to do something for my team. I did something tonight so I can prove a point. I wrote something that I'm going to read off, just like I've asked you to read your script and sound good doing it so that the client doesn't know. So I'm going to read this little intro that I did. I was taking a shower and I said, I want to say this. So I wrote it. So, hi, hello team. First and foremost, hello team. I'm Nelson Alvarez and I'm agency manager with TLG and one of the team leaders on the Guetterman Financial Group, the #1 group in TLG. So I cannot emphasize enough how privileged I feel anytime that Aaron asks me or any of the members of Team Advantage to speak on the Wednesday Winners platform. It's like, I can't believe he lets us do this. So all I'm going to do tonight is let you in on a conversation I had with Aaron. Like we have almost every morning, we chit chat for a little bit. And we're constantly talking about the 3 pillars. How am I doing? Do I look like I'm reading, guys? I am. I'm going to talk to you about the 3 pillars that Aaron and I talk about that are the foundation of TLG. Pillar number 1, intelligence. Pillar number 2, innovation. And pillar number 3, integrity. Okay? Today, we're going to center in on the innovation part. We're going to discuss how we can help the entire organization yield more with the current level of effort or more, utilizing the resources we already have. Yeah, but I'm basically saying is we're going to teach you how to make $1 out of 15 cents by just adding in more value to the package that we're already selling. But what we're going to do is get the carriers to pay us more for selling more to the same clients we're already taking care of. So we're going to raise the skill level just a little bit while simultaneously multiplying the rate of return of investment that we get. How'd I do, team? Did I do okay reading my script?
Yes.
You did
Watch on. Because I've learned from Aaron, just get up there and talk. But you know, not everyone has that skill to do that, to, talk impromptu. So I've had to learn to get better at it. And tonight, what we're going to do is just have an exercise for the veterans on getting better on what we already do. And for the newbies, to you, this won't be any more difficult than anything else because you don't know the difference. But your return on investment is going to be incredible. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you my presentation while I talk to two of my agents. I'm going to actually sell them mortgage protection. I'm going to use Diane and Tanya, and they didn't know this, so they're surprised right now. I'm going to use them as my clients, and I'm going to speedily go through my presentation. At some points, I'm going to pull out and editorialize. But what I'm really going to do is show you how I do this. Now, earlier today, I talked about facts tell, stories sell. Let me tell you a story. I went to my barber about 20 years ago when I was in Amway, and I shared a story with him. I said, man, you get everybody looking good every Friday, and they leave your barber shop and they go across the street and they buy the duds they're going to wear to go out. Man, if I were running a barbershop with all this room you've got, I would add a clothing line, some sneakers, some things that they could buy at your store. And he said, that's stupid. He really did. So I went to my backup barber on another occasion when he wasn't available. And guess what? I told them the same idea. This guy not only put in a line of clothes, sporting gear, things that the guys that come in for a haircut might want to wear. He not only did that, but he added a vending machine and started selling soda and refreshments from his shop. Why? Because if he's got the client there, and this is something that they're going to want, why let someone else sell it when I can do it? If I have access to the merchandise. So my backup barber is now my primary barber because the other one went out of business. Did y'all get that point? Did I tell a story? This is why we say facts tell, but stories sell. You all got the point. So what I'm going to do is share with you my presentation, talking to Diane and Tanya as two clients. And I'm going to sell them mortgage protection, which is what they wrote in and asked for. But while I do that, I'm going to introduce them to other things I have available. So is everyone ready? This means yes, and this means no. Come on, come alive, guys.
We're ready.
Everybody ready? All right, so here we go. I'm going to share with you my screen. Aaron, I appreciate you letting me do this. I hope I don't scare any of your people away because they think that my presentation is too difficult, okay? Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are so cool. I'm going to start my presentation, and I'm going to run through. It's not going to be a full presentation because I'm going to stop, explain, skip through, and get to the points that have changed. I want to emphasize this. This is Team Advantage's presentation. It is no better or worse than the one you're already using with your uplines, with your team. Anything you learn on this presentation tonight, you go back to your upline and said, you know, that crazy New Yorican Nelson, he said do this. Is this okay for me to do, or do we have a different way we do it? And let your upline guide you. Because although this idea in general is good, your upline hired you and knows you and your needs, your limitations, and your true assets in terms of skills. He will direct you. But I'm going to share with you a concept that your upline is probably going to manipulate and adapt it to his presentation. But for tonight, I can only do mine. So, Diane, Tanya, as a lesbian couple, welcome to the Alvarez Agency. It is such a pleasure meeting you tonight. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are
awesome.
you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I just want you to know, we're going to chit chat tonight. I am the Alvarez Agency, and I'm powered by TLG and the Integrity Marketing Group. You have to look them up. I am still in awe of the fact that they let me come work with them. They are the best in insurance protection. So I've got one question, kind of two, that is the most important thing I'm going to ask you tonight. So this will help me identify what your needs are and how to give you a good plan, all right? Here's my question. Diane and Tanya, how did you two meet and who kissed who first?
I kissed her first.
And we met through work.
You did, Well, that's nice to hear. I always like to ask that question because I check the other person to see if they smile when their spouse says who did. I'll know who's lying by that. But listen, all I'm really going to do today is chit chat with you. I am an insurance advisor. I'm here to advise you on how to protect yourselves. I want to know, first and foremost, what are you expecting by this meeting tonight? What are you expecting to have happen?
I want to make sure that if something happens to me, that Tanya gets to stay in the home.
Okay. That's very noble of you. And Tanya, how about you? What is it that you would like to see happen by the end of this talk today?
I'd like to be able to protect Diane and make sure she doesn't need for anything when I'm gone.
Okay. And what about the kids? Y'all have kids?
We
I
have
have one
Her
on the
name's-
way.
and her. What about Miracle? We have
Oh,
Miracle.
yeah, Miracle.
Okay, that's good. Y'all remember your family unit. Well, good. My job is to give you the information to help you make a decision tonight. So with no further ado, let's just get started. I promised you 15 minutes. Let's go. So here's what I want to share with you, that we found out that when a financial or health crisis happens, most families, they worry about losing their home, losing their income. How are they going to pay those uncovered medical expenses not covered by their insurance at work? How about paying regular bills? This shakes the family's peace of mind. Diane, Tanya, are y'all like most of the clients that I serve every day?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then I think we can agree on this. The question is never if we need this. We know we do. Isn't the real question tonight how we keep this affordable? Because if it was free, we would have been done the other day when I called you, Tanya, wouldn't we?
Right. Absolutely.
So somewhere in between free, which the company can't do, and oh, hell no, I'm not paying that. Somewhere in between is your sweet spot, where you feel the value of the coverage matches the budget that you can afford. If I could find that sweet spot, is there any reason, Tanya and Diane, is there any reason that you two wouldn't want to protect each other?
No.
No.
I mean, do you have to talk to anyone else, another agent, your neighbor, your neighbor's dog? Or are you two the decision makers?
We make the decisions.
Yes.
And it's important to protect your family ASAP, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, then good. Let me share with you what I'm going to do tonight. It's really simple. All I'm going to do is analyze your situation just a little bit more. I've tailored some options, but they are ideas. We can manipulate them if you feel you need a little more or a little less. And then we're going to submit a few applications to the carriers so that we can get their approval on you two loving and protecting each other. Does that feel fair to you?
Yes, it
Yes.
does.
Well, then let's get your family covered. Let's do it. Let me tell you a little bit about us, who we are. We are the Leaser Group. And the Leaser Group, TLG, we're nothing but a partnership of field underwriters around the country, and we specialize in these areas. Mortgage protection, critical illness, like a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. We focus in on senior benefits. We even do tax-free retirement. And what that means is we figure out ways that you can help yourselves with monies that you've had put away. Like, for instance, Diane, at your last job, you had a 401k. You moved to your new job, but the new job doesn't have a program. So that 401k is sitting back there, taking a hit every single month because you can't contribute to it. Do you have a situation like that going on at all?
Not right now, we don't.
How about you, Tanya? You left that 401k at the last job?
Yeah, I left it.
And are you losing money with it?
I imagine so.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we're done getting you your mortgage protection, I promise you, I work with a panel of experts. I'll give them your info and we'll get back with you on how to transfer that money into a very safe environment for growth, okay? But for right now, I want to also let you know, once you have your mortgage protection, we also include individual family benefits like dental, vision, and health. Those can be very expensive if you have coverage through your employer. Do you guys have coverage like that at work right now?
No.
No.
Well, no worries. We're going to give you access to that as well. Here's how we do it. Do you recognize any of the carriers that I work with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who?
Mutual of Omaha, Gerber.
I've seen Transamerica when I was
So
working
that
at Dollar
tells me,
General. Mhm.
yeah, that tells me that, we only work with the big dogs in the industry. And the reason we do that is because when that moment comes where Tanya needs these funds, Diane, we want to make sure when you look down from heaven and you see us taking that check to Tanya, you say, well done. I did it. I made a good choice with this company. That's my job tonight. Does that make you feel comfortable knowing we work with the best companies?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. All right, this is a little bit about me. This is me. This is my family. That's my chocolate mom I love so much. But the two guys on the left, these are two of the men that have helped me take care of my family. This is Art Leeser. He is the CEO, the Leeser Group. And my best friend ever in life, Mr. Aaron Guetterman, he taught me everything I needed to know so that I can help you two protect each other tonight, okay? But who cares about all those pictures? What you care about are the other pictures, the ones that include my license. Why? Because my license lets you know that the federal government and the state has background checked me, fingerprinted me. They can even tell you the seltzer water I'm drinking right now. So with that being said, take a look at this. This is my NPN number. This is my national producer number. Right now, Diane, while we're talking, Tanya can go into the computer and check with her state to see if the insurance commission thinks I'm in good standing in your state. I guarantee you they'll say yes. In addition to that, here's my address. Tanya, that's my address. Please don't stalk me. Why do we do this? Because we want our clients to feel comfortable. This is the reason why when I go to do all the personal information, when we take your application, ask your name, date of birth, and all that, this is why all my clients feel so good about getting mortgage protection with me. Heck, they know where I live. Doesn't that make you feel comfortable too?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. Let's move on to talk about what mortgage protection is and isn't. Mortgage protection is supposed to pay your spouse if you die. That's like life insurance, right? That's old mortgage protection. But the new mortgage protection not only does that, it's also transferable. That means it's not just tied into the loan, it's tied into you and your good health today. So if 20 years from now, you want to move on up like the Jeffersons and buy a new house on the other side of town, old mortgage protection would have been tied into the loan. You'd have to close that loan and sell it, right? And then reapply for mortgage protection with a new company. Well, guess what? 20 years have gone by. Maybe you've had a bout with cancer. Maybe you've had a bout with a heart attack or stroke. Diane, do you think 20 years later, if you had a heart attack or stroke, you think you're going to pay a little bit extra for your insurance?
I imagine it'd be quite a bit.
Do you think they might charge you more if you did qualify because you're just 20 years older?
Yes, I'm sure it would.
Well, our CEO fixed that. We're going to tie it into your good health today. So that's why we don't want to procrastinate and we want to get this done ASAP. All right? Because you're healthy right now, right?
Yes.
Let's lock that in. The other thing we provide are medical benefits, medical mortgage protection. What's that all about? Hey, if you went out on disability and you didn't die, it's hard enough living on 100% of our check. Could you survive on 65, 55% of your check, Tanya?
It'd be hard.
That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide you some backup medical coverage so that way you never have to worry about losing your home just because you're out of work while you're convalescing from a heart attack. We're also going to provide you with mortgage payment and equity protection. Not going to talk about that tonight because it doesn't apply, but we have that there. If you want to know more about it, when I come back and deliver your policy, I'll tell you more about it, okay?
Okay.
So now that we've talked about mortgage protection and what it does, let me share with you my favorite part of it. It's called living benefits. What do living benefits do? They pay you when you need it, not just when you die. So what does that mean? Tanya, living benefit number 1, terminal illness rider. Will you let Diane know why it's important for you to get the terminal illness rider?
Sure. It allows you to advance up to 80 to 100% of your base policy death benefit if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and life expectancy of 12 months or less.
That's right. Y'all have grandchildren. Y'all were planning to take them to Disney. God forbid you find out you have 12 months to live. You have two options. Option one, baby, when I die, I'm leaving a lot of money. You take the grandkids to Disney and let them meet Mickey and tell them grandma loved them. Option number two, hey, Nelson, I need you to send me 80 to 100% of my benefit right now. I'm taking my own grandchildren down to Disney so they can meet Mickey while I'm with them and videotape it and have a lifelong memory that we created on video. Of those two, Tanya, which one would you prefer to do?
To do it while I'm still here.
That's right. There you go. So, Diane, will you please share with Tanya the importance of critical illness and why you want her to have that?
Sure. Critical illness allows you to advance up to 95% of your base policy death benefit if you're diagnosed with ALS, life-threatening cancer, kidney failure, heart attack, major organ failure, or a stroke.
That's right. Think about that. If you have a critical illness like this, it really impacts you two ways. Because watch, if you have cancer, Diane, you're going to fight it, you're going to beat it, you got stage 4 cancer. You're going to have to go get you're going to have to go get chemotherapy and radiation. That's going to knock the wind out of you. By the way, who's taking you over there to take this treatment every week or every 2 weeks? Who's taking you over there?
That'll be Tanya.
But Tanya has a job, so she just lost work. She's going to have to request Family Medical Leave Act so she can take care of you. Well, guess what? If you could get 95% of your death benefit, can she take that time off now and enjoy, convalescing with you and be there to support you?
Yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't you agree that's a super powerful benefit to have, Tanya?
Yes.
That's what Diane is trying to bring to you with this. But let me share with you my favorite one is the chronic illness rider. This one allows you to get 24, not 95, but 24% of the death benefit if you're not able, for any reason, to do any of the 6 daily living activities. Like eating, bathing, dressing, transferring, toileting, walking. Hey, there's a 7th one I've been trying to get my boss, Aaron Guetterman, to add in, but he just won't do it. You know what the 7th one is, Diane?
No, what is that?
Chasing my wife around the house. That's a daily activity, at least it should be, right? Well, anyway,
Gotcha.
think about this. Are you like me, Diane? Do you climb up the ladder to clean the gutters in the fall, or do you get a guy?
Oh, no, somebody's got to do it. I'm not paying for that.
All right. Normally, my clients say they do it themselves, but Diane's trying to be difficult. But anyway,
No,
yeah,
I said I wouldn't
climb
pay
up the
for it.
ladder and
I'd
you get
do
it and you do it yourself. Well, while you're doing that, Tanya let the dog loose. He ran by and knocked you off the ladder. You broke both ankles. If you break both ankles, can you get up and go cook yourself a meal without assistance from Tanya?
No.
Can you get up and jump in the shower without assistance from Tanya?
No.
Those are 2 of your daily living activities. Nelson, I need 24% of my $100,000 policy. That's right. I need $24,000 ASAP. Would that help your ankles heal just a little bit better?
Be definitely nice.
Okay. That's what the chronic illness rider does. And if by chance you didn't break both ankles, but you fell and hit your head and had a cognitive impairment, it'll do the same as well. So, can you see where these 3 benefits are going to keep you in the home?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me add part B of our living benefits, and that's the critical illness rider part B. We have a term and a lifetime coverage option with this. What this is more like a secondary blessing. If you had a critical illness, that covers a lot more than just a heart attack and a stroke and cancer, has additional benefits that can take you out of work. You didn't die. I know you have life insurance at work, but if you went out of work because you had a stroke and you couldn't come back to work, that life insurance policy at your job will be sitting up on a mountaintop, Dan, looking down and saying, you can't have me, you're not dead. So how good is that life insurance policy that you have at work if you don't die, Diane?
Not any good then.
Not any good. And you already said living off of 65% of your regular 100% check, Tanya, that really wouldn't cut it, would it?
No.
So can you see we're having a standalone living benefits policy that covers you for critical illness, cancer, heart attack, or stroke? And by the way, I remember, Tanya, when I called to set up the appointment, I asked you, have you ever had an issue with a heart attack, stroke, or cancer? And you said no. I asked you, has it been a concern in your family? And you said both your sisters died from cancer. Diane, did you know that that was a concern to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, guess what? You can alleviate that concern by getting a standalone cancer policy for mortgage protection that, God forbid, she got cancer. As soon as she found out, she can get her 50 or 100,000 so y'all two could work together to heal her without worrying about being homeless at the same time. Can you see where this would absolutely provide you that peace of mind in your family if anything should happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. So all I'm going to do right now, I told you 15 minutes. Here we go. We're just going to review a little more information. We're going to fill out a few applications in a few minutes. And all my job is to do to make sure when I submit those applications, I can fight for you and get those approved. Again, I ask you, does this process feel fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Wonderful. Let me share with you why you'll never, ever, ever have to worry about losing your home. Now, guys, I'm going to stop right here and say, this is when I introduce the numbers. For you guys that are brand new, you're like, wow, this is great. It was pretty persuasive. But for my veterans, can you see where we just introduced a whole other line of clothing, a vending machine, some popcorn and potato chips. So while my barber is cutting the client's hair, he's making them hungry and telling them how sharp they're going to look when they leave with this badass haircut and a new outfit. And they don't have to waste any other time shopping anywhere else because I got everything you need right here. Can everyone see the benefit of adding in this new line of product? Come on, let me hear a yes from everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll better see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I'm going to stop
Yes.
right here. I'm just going to say this is where I introduce my numbers to my client, and I do it this way. I say the reason we're so confident we can protect you is because we're a full service company. I mean, think about this. With auto insurance, would you ever leave would you ever drive off the showroom floor with just liability coverage on that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 car you got? Absolutely not. You would get what? Full coverage. Well, we offer you full coverage as well. Just like with your car, you got collision, comprehensive, and liability. We offer you bodily injury and critical illness as well as natural causes. Boom. There it is. And then I show them their numbers and I sell them bodily injury and the critical illness policy. And then we move on to show them the natural causes. Natural causes just mean if you wake up dead from anything, you can be covered. Bodily injury is another way of saying accidental. I don't like saying accidental coverage because then they go, oh, I got that with my car loan. Oh, I got that at my credit union. So I just say bodily injury coverage. Any death that's caused by a bodily injury. So now I'm going to talk about, but what if you don't die? What if you just had a heart attack and lived? What if you had a stroke and lived? What if you have cancer and you're fighting to live? Can I help you survive that by making sure you have the funds you need? So with that, I'm going to close. This closes my portion of the demonstration of what we do. And now, Aaron, I'm going to turn it back over to Aaron so we can have one of the best, most technical people I've ever met. You know who she is? I'll let Aaron introduce her, Miss Kim Glass.
You got it, man. You got it. Now that's phenomenal. And I hope y'all understand he packaged. So when you guys package, it's an ADB CI package. Now, What if the client says, well, I really do like the CI, but I don't think I need the ADB. Eliminate it. Y'all know when you go shop, I don't know if you guys do, but I shop for cars pretty much every 3 years, and you sit down and they go over the insurance and you're checking a whole lot of boxes. Like, boom, they give you the full package up front and you look at it and you're like, what? I don't need that, that, and that. And they modify it and they package it to what you need and what you want. But if you show them the full package, every box checked right up front, people are going to see value in each offering. So what Nelson did, he packaged ADB, Mutual of Omaha Accidental, and CI in one package for one price. Y'all know that you're going to be writing 2 separate policies for the individual prices, right? Understand that. But they see value up front, total package, price, then you move on. We can't negate natural causes, and you move into the life insurance portion just like you always have been. Mark, does that make sense? Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So,
hey, I want to give credit, Aaron. Diane Crump, she went in and like usual, my team, they backed me up, and she went in behind me and cleaned up some of the visuals you saw on that page. And she added in the critical illness. I'm just going to go back and show that because it's important. People like to see what they're getting. She added in collision and comprehensive. She wrote that in there. But she also put bodily injury coverage, CI coverage, and she gave 3 options. Now, these aren't the real prices, but when we showed the price, we show it as 1. And if they like the price and they know they're getting $500,000 of bodily injury and $100,000 if I get cancer, my goodness, they get excited. But I wanted to give credit where credit is due because she went in right behind me, cleaned it up, made it look good. That's what a team's supposed to do. Work as one.
And depending on the age, and if 100,000 is too much, guys, we still have to make sure it's affordable, and we can move and we can go up and down on these prices. But usually we're probably going to be paying between 25 and 50,000 of CI, heart attack, stroke, cancer, hospital. So we've just got to make sure the numbers match and the numbers meet, and they're going to see that value up front. And then we move into life insurance portion. But Kim has really done a deep dive. So ADB with Mutual of Omaha is guaranteed issue. Ages 18 to 70, guaranteed issue. Like, you just write it and they're going to get it. Some states, most states offer return of premium with that as well, which again, when you're talking about an additional added benefit, when after 30 years, they're going to get all their money back, either 30 to 80, right? They're going to get all their money back. So y'all sell it that way. Kim has done a deep dive on CVS, heart attack, cancer, stroke, hospital, all that stuff. Before you get into that, Kim, I want y'all to remember what Nelson had on his front page. He didn't even say anything, but he did, but he kind of glazed over it, which is we also offer family coverage such as dental, vision, and hearing. Why is that on the front page? Because he's marketing, y'all. Come on, are we in sales? Are we in sales? Right? He's marketing. We do it. That's not why we're in this meeting. But if they know that we do it and you glaze over it, guys, when we sell annuities and we do the financial analysis, are we selling annuities for mortgage protection? Generally not. But we let them know we do during the warm down process. Let people know what your offerings are. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Thank you, Kobe. So if you're not putting it out there every single time, then you're not going to be making the shots. Same thing goes for asking referrals. All the quadrants we offer, all 4 quadrants, income producing quadrants. You guys, if you are thorough, this is about professionalism. All right. Y'all can't tell me that Nelson ain't one of the most thorough professionals that I've ever met. Like, this dude understands his craft and he knows how to sell, and he's going to put it out there. I guarantee you during the warm down, hey, remember, we took care of this right here. We did the financial analysis. You told me you had this money, but tell me, does your family have a dental plan, vision plan, hearing plan? Let me tell you about ours. Boom. And just talk about it. But I'm going to turn this over. Kim, talk about a couple of the product lines and maybe notable mentions as far as underwriting goes, because cancer, heart attack, stroke, hospital does have underwriting, except for a certain age class. And Kim, you can mention that. There's some guaranteed issue age class in there, which in my opinion, that is unbelievable for these benefits. Think about people you have to put into Corebridge for guaranteed issue because they got issues. Maybe they had a heart attack or stroke 2 years ago or this year. Kim, a 66-year-old who had a heart attack and stroke this year, can they get a heart attack and stroke policy?
Okay, hospital indemnity, yes.
Yeah, hospital. Well, you know what? That's pretty amazing. Okay, I want you to go over the different benefits. You've really done a deep dive in them, and I want you to hammer what you found.
All right. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I'm going to give you a Cliff Note version. First and foremost, I started looking into it because when we started doing dental, I'm like, wait a minute, because I myself I have a final expense whole life because I had melanoma. It'll be 4 years next Mother's Day-ish area. So anyway, I couldn't get a plan with all of the living benefits, As a matter of fact, when I first started here, I had to get a guaranteed plan. So I got really good at selling guaranteed because I started that clock myself because I wanted something in place, but that's a different conversation. But then when I could get, when I could qualify for a final expense whole life, I jumped on it. And then I ended up with a Transamerica immediate solution final expense plan because CVS Aetna just, I could have gotten that one, but there's just so much that goes into underwriting. And I've learned a lot of it the hard way because for myself, submitted myself in, but did not realize that they saw mitral valve prolapse as an unrepaired heart defect. So I went to Transamerica, got that, and I have the terminal illness coverage up to 50%. So when we started deep diving a little bit into dental, I'm like, all right, let me look at this. And plus I had a really good friend of mine who had gotten out of the hospital having another heart issue. And his fiance was like, look, when can we get him something? So I started thinking about this stuff and I'm like, Aaron, can we do this? He's like, we weren't really even doing the dental barely yet. And he goes, you've got a health license, right? I'm like, yep. He goes, yeah. So I started looking into it for myself and for a friend of mine. With me having a long, lots of history in the family, lots of heart problems and cancer issues and things. I wish that I had gotten some cancer coverage before, but I went ahead and I got myself the heart attack stroke one. I just didn't put the cancer part on there because it's too soon for me. But I, knock on wood, I've been very fortunate and have not ever had any issues with the heart attack stroke stuff. So I opted for like a lump sum, 30,000 that would pay out, and it's only $52.75 a month. I'm 52 years old. So you can go in and you can start playing around with this stuff and quote it out just so you can get familiar because there's lots of add-ons. There's lots of things that you can, first I wanted to see what the Porsche version looked like first. And I'm like, oh, let me just scale that down some. So, I wanted to see what would the max cost be if I added everything. And then I just started taking things away. So, you can do that but keep it that way. You can keep it simple with people like how Nelson narrowed down the family history when he was asking them questions, learn to ask some qualifying questions like that, and with my personal history and my family history, that's how I narrowed mine down. But it is simple. It's very affordable as far as that goes. And then it also has the reoccurrence. So that way, if I ever do have a heart attack or stroke, 30 grand pays out. And then there's different limits about that. So like reoccurrence after 2 years, it will pay the full benefit again. So, it's really great coverage. I think that will be a big one. They've got a lot of different ones on there. Let me go and look. And also, just so you guys know where to find this information, any of you that have looked into the dental, you probably know where to find the product availability sheet. But if you go into CVS Aetna and then go to the dashboard and then click on products and then click on product availability, they update this pretty often because they're trying to add more states. It's like North Carolina, you can't get the dental, but they're trying to add it and keep it updated. So I just looked and it was just updated November 8th. So I saved a new copy of that. I don't know if I have sharing capability or not. but y'all can go and find this product availability there. But on page 2 of that, it has all of the Aetna Senior Supplemental Insurance products and a brief description, the issue ages. So going on down, I mean, for the one I was just talking about, cancer, heart attack, stroke, plus that issue ages are 18 to 89 for individuals, couples, families. You can get anywhere from 5,000 to 75,000. Reoccurrence benefit available with both cancer, heart attack, stroke. Choose a cancer and or heart attack stroke plan with choice of benefit amounts. Same lump sum benefit amount for each covered person. Lump sum benefit paid directly to insured or someone designated. There are some other plans in there, obviously, that you can look into. But I think a big one for us also will be the hospital indemnity. And that's what Aaron was speaking of just now. That issue ages are 18 to 89, guaranteed acceptance for ages 64 and a half to 67, which I thought they said 68, but now I see it says 67 on here, and it tells you what states it's not available in. And that guaranteed acceptance, of course, it's not in all states. It's not available in California, New Mexico, Utah, and one other one. I can't read that. But they don't ask any health questions, which means it doesn't matter if you've had a heart attack, stroke, or whatever the case may be. They're in cancer. If you add a cancer rider to it, they will ask 2 health questions. And they want to know if in the past year, have they tested or been diagnosed with that, or the past 10 years. So it still goes back 10 years, a cancer look back, if you add the cancer rider. But as far as everything else, they have a 12-month look back at artery disease, and in general, outside of it. I mean, so there's pretty loose underwriting in general for everyone, but it is guaranteed no health questions unless you add the cancer rider for ages 64 and a half to 67. And the indemnity, how that works, a lot of y'all probably don't know what that is, but they have webinars all the time on here too. So go and sign up, and you know, they're really short, to the point. You know, it'll help you sell to people that have gaps with their coverage and everything, but also with just the way, you know, we are doing these presentations now and how Nelson just went over, it will help us with that too, I think. So, you know, if somebody starts saying, oh, I don't know if I need that, I mean, those webinars really help you learn about, you know, the top 3 out-of-pocket expenses with Medicare and other, you know, health insurances, why you would want to have something like this. And then like option 1, you've got 2 options for those, either like the hospital admission on indemnity. It's $250 a day up to 4,000 max. And it'll pay like a lump sum, but it gives you a real good breakdown on that sheet, and pays indemnity benefits up to $4,000 hospital admission, $1,000 a day hospital, $500 a day optional daily skilled nursing facility care, $100 visit for optional doctor's offices. So it can even help you with some specialty doctors. Better. I mean, I have to go to the dermatologist a lot, and it's expensive. $3,000 optional outpatient surgical procedure. Why did I not know about this? I had hernia surgery and thing cost me $7,500 out of pocket. I wish I had that back then. But anyway, that's other ways it could help you guys, your clients, or, you know, a way to sell it. But $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 optional lump sum cancer, $250 visit optional outpatient rehab. And they pay the benefits directly to the insured unless assigned to a provider. So those are the 2 I think are really going to be the biggest. They do have home care plus, and they've got recovery care also. So those are just some, you know, the recovery care, I'll say this much about that it does include cognitive impairment. And, you know, if the insured can't perform 2 or more ADLs without activities of daily living without assistance. But the inclusion for cognitive impairment is big because a lot of plans exclude that. So I think that is one to really look into, and they've got an upcoming webinar on that, I think Friday. And then the next one is the hospital indemnity, which is going to be on the 19th. But you can see their schedule on they just had one today, or maybe it was today, it was recovery care, but they have them ongoing. So y'all go in there, jump on them. They're real short and sweet, to the point, that it'll really help you learn them. and then just download the stuff and keep up with looking back to see if any updates have been made, because they're constantly improving it.
I love that. And I know Kim just went over a bunch. And y'all are like, well, how do I design each product, right? That's going to be done through the phone script. You guys are asking history. You're asking if any illnesses, right? When we're talking about cancer, you can't write a cancer policy on someone who had cancer last year, or you said 10 years. So we've got to know a little bit of underwriting when it comes to this. And maybe we just add in heart attack and stroke and hospital, and we leave parts out, according to their illnesses. So there's different ways you guys can go about this, but we could still put in the added value. But I do agree with Kim, and you guys need to probably start listening to some of these webinars. Kim, do they have recorded webinars on there? Maybe they can go back.
They do.
So they're recorded webinars. You can go back. Usually, how long are the webinars?
35 minutes.
30 minutes. Y'all go in again in your non-income producing time, right? Along with getting your health license, go in and start listening to some of these webinars to hone your craft. If we're about professionalism, guys, you've got to study up, you've got to educate yourself and really start to understand why we're doing this, how much value you can add to your clients by doing this. And Kim, I'm going to put this up as a recording. I'm going to need your permission because I might be breaking all kinds of HIPAA laws with all the personal health information you just gave us. But
that's okay. I give you my permission.
All right. Y'all heard it. It's recorded. But regardless, y'all listen to what we're saying, and Nelson's going to we'll get this recording up. We'll get the integration. If you guys want to integrate like Nelson did into your personal, virtual platform, your sales presentations, we can do that, and just integrate it so you can understand the sale beforehand. And I know Mark's wheels are spinning, because he sells accidental on every single appointment, every single one. He does not miss one. So he's going to be, I know he'll implement this pretty heavily. And the more we have doing it, we'll get more examples, and we'll start again. We'll bring training back on this. But those of you who are ready, rock and roll with it. I'm going to open up for maybe 5-10 minutes of questions if you have them. We've got Nelson on, myself, and Kim on. Diane, what's up?
So my question is to Kim. I've been looking at both Mutual of Omaha and CVS Aetna, and let me know if I'm right. I was thinking with the CVS Aetna that when they pay out those benefits, they do them in $5,000 increments, or is that wrong?
You can choose lump sum. So from the one that I have, it has a lump sum of 30 grand. And then if I have a recurrence of a heart attack or stroke after 2 years, it'll pay the full amount again.
Okay. Because I've been more into the Mutual of Omaha, and they'll pay it again multiple times if you do the lifetime one after so many years. But I thought I saw Aetna said,
Hey,
not been the deep dive into Move, so
yeah, so
more about that.
with Moo, I have deep dived into Moo. So with Moo, it's basically after 2 years they'll pay 25%. After 5 years they'll pay 50%. 7 years they'll pay 75, and then 7+ years they'll pay 100% of the reoccurrence. So if you go 7 years between cancer or heart attack or stroke diagnosis, which happened to my father-in-law, he had a heart attack at 50 and then he had a heart attack at 59. He'd have been paid twice if he had one of those policies.
right.
I mean, there's a whole lot in here.
Hold on, Kim, go ahead. Wait, Taylor.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have, and I started to speak to my upline about this, but I do have a client that is wanting a higher coverage. So I was looking for products that I could possibly present to them. And do you all feel like this is like a perfect example, or I don't want to say a perfect example because anybody and everybody should get this, but do you think this will be a good time to kind of introduce that?
Maybe. I guess it depends on underwriting. We've got to go back to underwriting on this and what they can qualify for. So we have to figure out, you're talking about a higher face amount. So I'm assuming an MPP with an FE policy, we're going guaranteed issue or not. So we have to look at the individual case designs that you have to be able to get the right product. Just like if someone had cancer, we can't add that in yet, but we could add in stroke and heart attack, right? We could add in the hospital if we need to. So that we just have to maneuver, like they have a policy where it's all of them wrapped into one. If you got
Okay.
completely healthy people, you can run
Good.
all into one. You could do just a standalone cancer, a standalone heart attack, standalone stroke, standalone hospital, or wrapped
Okay.
in. It's got moving parts and pieces, and we have to dissect each case and take a look at it, and we'll give you direction where to go.
Okay.
If I
Appreciate
could
it.
just, going back to the phone script, and you and I talked about this, but a couple of minor modifications in your phone script could make you thousands of dollars. Hey, have you ever had an issue with the heart attack, stroke, or cancer? Oh, you had a heart attack. Some people will think, oh, I can't offer it. How about
long ago?
how long ago? Yes. And does it run in your family? Oh, yeah, it does. Things like this are a concern to your family, aren't they? Yeah, we've been kind of nervous, blah, blah, blah. No worries. I've got something we'll talk about. Boom. You just got ammo. These are people that are worried about a heart attack, but for all you know, they're also concerned with cancer and a stroke. The thing is, data mine, you get the information, and you do it casually. It's not like, all right, tell me everyone that died in your family. But
Right.
it's not concern to you or members of your family. Oh, yeah, we've talked about it. So
Okay.
now you just make an earmark. You
Okay.
notate it. And
Okay.
that'll give you an opportunity to bring it up later, talk with your upline, and see if you can weave it into your presentation.
Okay. Should I call the client back? The client did open it up for me to call back for questions. So is that something that I could call back and ask if that's something that they're concerned about?
Yeah, we'll talk
Okay.
about this one-on-one,
Okay.
maybe in a group,
Okay.
but very good point. You've
Okay.
got someone interested. Now you go back to your panel of experts and find
Yes.
out what to do. So for all of you
Absolutely.
folks that are going, what the hell just happened? They talked about Kim Glass. She's phenomenal. What did she talking about? You're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to know you have access to everything. That's all we wanted to do tonight, to let you know all your superpowers. So this should inspire you and motivate you to be more of a professional. You're not just selling insurance, you're serving families. And you've got a source like Aaron that knows everything that's out there that we, the managers, lean on to get our information so we could pass it to you. So just ask all the questions you can.
I let them know about my golden partners, so that's taken care of.
I'm gonna say something real quick, because when I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong, because I probably read something on my little scribbly notes that got myself confused. Anyway, it is a reoccurrence chart, and I was sitting here flipping through my stuff to find it. So there it is. So it takes 9 years. So who asked that question? Somebody asked. They're like, so 2 years back up to 100%. Yeah, that would be kind of nuts. So I was wrong about that part, but it does go up to, you have to wait 2 years, and then 25%, 5 years, but less than 7 is 50, 7 years, less than 9, 75, 9 years or more is 100%.
So similar to Mutual of Omaha, just a few added years on here and there.
Yeah, I think Mutual of Omaha is 9 years also for the 100%.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong.
They're most likely probably pretty similar, in that aspect. But guys, you can work both ways on this. Utilize CVS, utilize Mutual of Omaha. Just understand what you have your hands on to add additional benefit with these clients. If you guys, we were already selling an additional 30 to 60, sometimes $100 in a month, with ADB. Now you could tack on an additional 25 to 45 if they want the benefit, an additional 100. So now we're talking an additional 2,400 on top of your life sales. But why would they want to invest that much? Value. I'll read it where I started. When value exceeds price, people will buy.
And you heard what Nelson said, I'm sure your family is concerned about this if you have a family history. So this opens up the door for you to write policies on the family, right? And just to kind of go over what Aaron said, I wrote the policy for final expense, for mortgage payment protection. I added accidental. Then they asked me about hospital indemnity. This is before we decided to do this. So I wrote hospital indemnity on her for 3,500 AP on top of the 3,000 AP for the the mortgage payment protection on top of the 1,500 AP for the accidental. Then she said, can my mom get this as well? Well, yes, she can. There's another 3,500 AP. You know what I mean? So it just opens up the doors to protect the whole entire family when you start adding value like that.
I think when we first did, and we were doing the tech class on the dental, and I had discovered this too, I went back to all my TOG 75. I said, Aaron, can I do it like this? Because I know all the stuff about texting people, but they did opt in for some information, and critical illness was part of that, right? Terminal. So I went and I text blasted all the TOG 75s, just trying out different little text blasts. And it ended up yielding a close to $10,000 of annualized premium. So unfortunately, though, one person did reply, and it was a niece of someone who was actually in hospice care. And while she got the call that he passed right when I was on the phone. So that was kind of tough. But someone else asked about, they incentivize. In a way, they do, because whenever you do buy one of those plans, then you get access to all these savings. So in here, there's a little QR code. I can sign up for that. But here's a lot of the, and Mutual Omaha has these too. So you get a lot of benefits. And one of the things is discount on gyms and things like that. So you get big discounts at CVS with CVS Aetna. But anything from health and wellness needs from gyms, diet plans, groceries, everything in between, 20% discount on certain health and wellness CVS branded items, online or in store. So everybody likes a deal, man. I mean, you know how many people signed up for senior benefits because they got a $5 Walmart gift card?
Bro. All right. I hope y'all, this is going to be recorded. Go back and listen to it several times. Go back and listen to it and just understand how to do it. Get with your growing up line, how to integrate this. And it's going to feel awkward at first, just like your first sale. Everything you do for the first time doesn't feel right up front. And then you're going to get better and better and better. And you're really going to start to understand how to present this. But keep it simple. That's what sales is all about. Keep it simple. And y'all, go be an example. That's what it's all about. Nelson, I appreciate you. That was phenomenal. Kim, appreciate your knowledge. And team, let's go. Let's go after it. We'll talk more about it, but it's time now. You've got the knowledge. Now go activate. Trust, only motion. Take care, y'all.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you,
Thank you.
Diane.
Thanks. Bye.